Hey,
Hello, how are you, man?
good man. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
I
for having
love
me.
the your logo at the back of you. That's sick.
This bad boy right here.
That's mad.
Appreciate it. Thank
Did
you. My
you?
missus got it for me.
Oh, that's sick. Did she like order it online or like a local store?
Yeah, she ordered it online off of a mate got his done, and she
Yeah.
got it for I think it was my birthday. It was for, and it's she'll love this now. I'll let her know that
Yeah, yeah, no,
you
no, that's sick. I was when I first like was doing this in the my old house, I was thinking about because like you know how some people have like their banners and they have the logo
yes,
in that.
yeah.
But I was like, sometimes I think that just looks sleeker, just kind of sitting there on the side,
I thought so too. I think it was
especially.
she did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't complain.
How's your day been?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. Just had a chat with my business coach. We finished up just a little bit ago, 10, 20 minutes ago. I trained in the morning myself, got us what do you call it, scraping done, and just been doing a little bit of work in between and getting the meals in. That's about it so far. Now we're here. How
Yeah,
about yourself?
yeah, good, good. Same thing. Had the gym this morning. Doing some edits for some other people, and then got a shoot later today. So
Mad,
looking
mad.
forward
Who
to that.
for?
Pardon?
What's the shoot for?
Oh, Torin, who's doing the Melbourne National Show, going down to one gym at Flemington, and just
Yep,
I guess get some like photos and videos for his like peak week.
yep, beautiful. As in Toran who?
Um, what's his last name?
Brody?
Yeah, he does men's physique.
Yeah, yeah, Toran. Okay, yeah, yeah. Mad.
Um, Yeah, no, he's a good bloke. I did a video with him back when I was at like in the Gold Coast, and we did a like a little training thing on at Fitness Cartel, and that's how
Yeah,
we
yeah.
like first connected.
Mad.
But he's great. He's cool.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's a bag of laughs, that bloke.
Yeah, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Always a good time. Always a good laugh.
Yeah, he
Very
loves
funny.
a joke. I like
Well,
it.
firstly, thank you for jumping on with me and having the chat. I really appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you for that. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. So I just kind of want to I guess, really set the stage and let everybody listening to kind of know how did you find bodybuilding? Like, what kind of brought you into bodybuilding? You know, you've been doing it since a teenager, but like, where did you find that connection?
Okay. Well, it's a deeper one, but I'll try keep it short. It was about 10 years ago or so when I was depressed and had social anxiety and suicidal, thoughts and this kind of all that kind of stuff. And I was in a bit of a hole. So I wasn't really a lot of it stemmed from me not being comfortable with how I looked,
Hmm.
and being comfortable in my own skin. Didn't have the confidence. How most kind of bodybuilders, I would say, start out, right? And so I knew I kind of had to do something. And there was a bit of a flipping point in my life around that point in time where it was just the group of my friends that I had. They were just going down a different route, to where I saw myself going down. I wanted to develop, better, what do you call it? Just habits and just better myself. So a few of my friends started going to the gym. I started joining up with them, and it just kind of kept on going from there. I started realizing how well it made me feel, mentally and physically. So obviously you see the rewards, and you start to see the physique change, and then it becomes a bit of an addiction. And it was just all positives, man. So I just continued with it. I just decided this is the one thing I'm not going to stop
Yeah.
in my life. And yeah, that's how I started.
No, I relate that to a lot. Similar thing. I think some friends were in it, like into the gym and bodybuilding at school,
Yeah,
and he like wanted to compete. And same thing. I like we started training together and that. And like my dad and my uncle, they had always kind of really trained, but they had done like at home training, like garage, mixed martial arts, but then also like lifted weights.
yeah,
But yeah, when I started going to the gym with him, same thing. It's just all of a sudden I feel like it's something that when you get into the gym and it's kind of like the more you learn about it, and then when you do, you start seeing those results, you kind of just fall in love with the process, and then
yeah,
you kind of get introduced to this whole world of bodybuilding. And then
yeah.
you just kind of either gravitate towards it or I guess you don't. But
Yeah, yeah. I feel like you either stay in that the fitness and health realm kind
yeah,
of and just train, for the betterment of of all those other things as well. But bodybuilding itself, I don't. When I decided that I want to compete, I don't even know when that was, to be honest. I think it was like a few years in, and I was like, oh, kind of pretty cool having these cool muscles, you know. I want to see how big I can get, and then it's never stopped, has it?
So when you first did your first show, um, were you with Sam as like your coach when you did that, or were you with someone else beforehand?
My first show, I prepped myself.
Okay.
So I was with Sam at that time. I had stopped with him a few months beforehand because we were going to do. I think I did season C,
Mhm.
and that would have been 2022. And I was with him at that time, and I was with my ex at that time. And I was going through a bit of a rough spot. We were supposed to do season A, um, and we are going through with that, and things just weren't going well. Just in my relationship life, financials, and stuff like that. I was just stressed.
Yeah.
And so I decided to kind of pull the plug on that, just do my own thing for a little bit, get my money up, and start working on my relationship at the time, plus on myself and my business.
Hmm.
And so I canned it for a little bit, started just training, and then at June it would have been, I decided I'm going to try season C prep and try it myself, just see how hard I can kind of push myself, um, learn about my body, and yeah, just I didn't expect to win or nothing like that. Just wanted to see what I could do. And so I did the first prep all by myself. It was horrendous. And I never advise anyone to do a prep by themselves.
Do you think that now that you've kind of got into coaching more, you've done the prep by yourself, and I guess the experience that you've learned, that you'd give it a go again, like to prep yourself, or you think you'd kind of? It's funny, like I was just talking to Justin the other day, Justin
Yep.
Watson, and like
Yep.
he's saying how like he had kind of he's working with George, but
Yep.
beforehand he's like been like prepping himself and stuff, and he's
Yep.
like kind of really gotten confident with learning how his body works and all that. And so it's interesting kind of always hearing the difference of some people will always advise having a coach, and then some people end up feeling more confident.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I think if I were to do it now, I'd obviously have a lot more confidence in being able to do so because over time you become a lot more in tune with your body. You do a few preps, you understand kind of what you need, and everyone's a little bit different. So I think at this point in time, so now I'm with the second show I did was with Sam, and we did the New South Wales States and the Nationals. And then a little bit after that, just once again decided to pull back and then just focus on my business properly at that point.
Mhm.
And I was doing my own thing the whole of last year, pretty much up until the start of this year, where I'd been training at Metroflex last year, and one of the guys there, Mitch Embody, he worked there, and so I'll just chat with him here and there. And I really like the way he approached things, and so it just naturally kind of happened to be well. It's more of like a partnership now,
Yeah.
and I think that definitely can work, that dynamic. And that's kind of how our next prep will be. I'll let him take the reins, but he'll know what I need and what I want. And I'm a lot more structured and able to hold myself accountable to be on top of my cardio and training, that there's nothing to be worried about at this point in time, next time around. So would I ever do it again by myself? Maybe.
Mhm.
But I think I'd always like to have a second set of eyes anyway.
Yeah. I think that's definitely important. Like I think having that someone in that advisory role, or whether you have a really like small circle that you can kind of lean on when, because I think it's definitely really hard being able to battle that mindset with like not playing tricks on
Yeah.
you, going, oh no, I got to push harder when like
Yeah.
you shouldn't. Because I know a couple of other athletes who've been in that situation where, you know, they love the sport so much, they know the grind, but then they've pushed themselves too hard. And then having someone to kind of help them reel back a bit has
Yeah.
really brought their physique to life, and then they've
Yeah.
performed much better on stage.
And I think that's where I need as well, for sure. I think that's where it really shines, to be honest, having that second set of eyes.
Mm.
Because unless my partner or something was like deep into bodybuilding and she could be that second set of eyes, then maybe I could depend on that. But I need someone who's like at least done it, prior with multiple people and has their own way of doing things. I also want to learn how Mitch does it, as opposed to how Sam does it, for example,
Yeah.
so I can take that information in and apply it, in the future.
Would you say so? You it sounds like quite a few times you've kind of taken that step back towards your coaching. So would you say that being a coach is kind of more important to you than the stage, or would you say they're balanced? It's just kind of like the stage is always there. You want to compete when you can, but you're
Mhm.
more focused on being a coach.
My priorities have changed over the last few years. Um, I think when I was a little bit younger, a few years back, I was so hell bent on competing and winning this and winning that and blah blah blah, which is great. But I also am realistic, and I believe that I'm not top 1% genetic gene pool.
Mhm.
Um, so do I still want to win a pro card? Yes. Do I think I can? Yes. But I think now my priorities lie a lot more in business and helping others compete as well, because that's where I get a lot of fulfillment. I've found I love doing it myself, and I will continue to until hopefully I do win a pro card. But I really do enjoy getting others to go through the process and seeing their physique change and seeing how happy it makes them. That's really fulfilling, I've realized. So that's where I am now.
Well, that makes sense. Like you said, I guess coming from how you got into bodybuilding and the experiences that you had, I can see the connection where then, yeah, being a coach is a lot more fulfilling because you're kind of, I guess, you know, taking that role that maybe you wish you had or you didn't
Yeah.
have, and then you're giving that on to others.
Yes.
Would you say that do you focus on mainly athletes, or is it just kind of anybody? Like what is like what makes, I guess, your coaching unique? Like seeing though that is kind of like, I guess, become your main focus.
Yeah. Yep. So I think where you mentioned me being the role for the younger version of me is kind of like where I'm at. So obviously, once again, yeah, mental health and all that stuff is very important to me, and that's why I began, and that's why I began coaching as well, is to help people overcome their mental hurdles, build their identities and stuff like that. And so those are the kinds of people now that I am targeting in a way, or that's my target audience.
Yep.
So a lot of my clients have dealt with mental health in the past, or they're trying to rebuild their identities, and they just want to rebuild themselves. So obviously the physical and the mental when it comes to bodybuilding and training, obviously very they work together, and hence that's the kind of route that I'm taking now. But I would say most of my clients are general population,
Mhm.
lifestyle. There's probably about 25% of them that are kind of competitive slash athletes, but they all similarly, as most people do, have dealt with some sort of issues in the past when it comes to mental health, which is great, because I'm able to kind of help them through it too, because I've been through a lot too. Not that I have all the answers, but I can
Yeah.
at least speak from most of my experience.
I think that's important, like being able to like relate to them and being able to connect and help them. I think that's what makes coaching, and that's something that I think I've definitely seen what has evolved
Yeah,
throughout, I guess, your standardized coaching is that nowadays it is really more than just like I'm gonna help you get jacked, or
yeah,
obviously if they're an athlete and they want to compete, but I think especially in Gen Pop, it is
yeah.
really like you're so much more. Someone I saw someone, who was it? I don't know if it was Frank, like Instagram's like Little Frank. I don't know if it was he
Oh, yeah,
posted it or something, but he someone did, and it was like you know, being a coach or whoever it was has like you don't actually realize what you get to experience in someone's life when someone takes you on, like he's experienced like people's weddings, people going through
yeah,
funerals, like you really kind of can become such an important role on this person. I think it's such a
yeah.
beautiful journey that you can experience being a coach.
It is, man. It is. Funny you mentioned that. I went to one of my now we're mates, his wedding, but we started off as client coach,
That's
and I
cool.
went to his wedding on the weekend. So
That's so cool. I think it's
yeah,
definitely like, well, that's what like life's about, really, like that connection,
it
and that's
is.
a lot of, I think, where also mental health can kind of come into it, is people not feeling like they connect, like that's what we are as humans. We want to feel loved, we want to connect, we want to be a part of a community, and I think that's something that is so great about one bodybuilding, such a great community, but even the health and fitness, like it really kind of brings us to connect together, and we can connect on that.
I agree. 100%. I agree. It's mad.
What kind of, just to move a bit away from the coaching for a moment,
Hmm.
So, as you're saying, you kind of been, I guess you've currently, would you say you're still like in an off season? Like when, like kind of run through
Hmm.
when are you planning on jumping on stage next? And kind of compared to, I guess, after doing the show with Sam and then kind of, I guess, stepping away again, taking the break, starting working with Mitch, how has that kind of, where are you at, I guess, in your
Hmm.
bodybuilding journey?
So we are currently thinking about competing in season A
Hmm.
next year. Right now, I'm still in off season, quite lean where I'm at currently. So this is the biggest and leanest I've been at 113 kilograms. Um, business. My main focus over this last 2 years was to, of course, grow the business. Otherwise, I won't be able to pay bills. I
Yeah.
won't, be able to do anything. But now I'm at that point now where I want to get back on there. It'll be good for business to show people what I can do, bring some more eyes to to the page, and hopefully get some more people on board so I can take them through their journeys too. So that's kind of the main reason I'm doing it. Not the main reason I want to say it's more of a byproduct, but I want to see how good I can be when I return now. So I'm quite keen for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some of your like latest progress, like videos and pictures of you like are looking huge. Like you posted a picture of like I think it was a comparison of like you when you kind of just started like as a teenager and then like yeah, what you look like now. Like you definitely like have made the progress. Like I'm excited to see you back on stage.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's sick.
What do you think? Well, like you said, you're just kind of overall wanting to bring your biggest package. So I guess
Mm,
what has been, I guess, outside of growing the most and I guess like
mhm,
obviously improving as an athlete, where do you like what was your last judge's feedback? Like what are you hoping to like was it, you need to just grow overall?
mhm.
What direction are you kind of wanting to bring?
So the last judge's feedback was to bring up the posterior.
Hmm.
Um, I think conditioning wise, at the state show, I was a bit better than the nationals. I was quite good, but I was both times I was not full. I was not pumped. I was flat.
Yeah.
Every show I've done so far, I've been flat. So I haven't really been able to figure that out. Obviously, the peak's gone wrong, but we'll figure this out this time. So the main goal was to bring up the posterior. So there's been a posterior day for the last 2 years ever since, which is good because I feel like that has come up a lot. And of course, the legs as well. But I'm trying to do as best as I can with the quads because I do have lower quad insertions.
Yeah,
So I don't really have a great sweep. But play with do what you can with your genetics. So trying to
definitely.
get them jacked, but
Yeah. I know that pain. I've got lower quad insertions too, and it's like no matter what, it's like when every time I look at my quads, it's like they look so like small.
yeah,
It's like I
bro.
can see it, but it's like if this quad was just coming off my hip,
Yeah,
have that fraction more shape, and I
yeah,
feel so much better about it.
yeah. I was looking at it today. I did some posing just over after my training, and I was like, "Fuck, everything looks so good except for the fucking legs." And it's okay; it's not bad. It's just that they definitely got to get bigger.
Yeah, to
Uh,
kind of fill out that proportion symmetry.
it'll come in time, but we'll see.
Since like I working okay no actually since like being a coach and progressing in that and then I guess connecting and advising with Mitch, do you have some form of idea of what, like you said, you've had this issue of kind of coming in flat, do you have an idea of what that could be and how you can correct it this time, or you're just not going to know until you're in that situation?
Well, we'll do so. The idea now is that in the past, I've been at a higher body fat percentage when we started prep.
Hmm.
It's been a lot harder to trial peak because I was never really ready in time.
Yeah.
I was ready in time, but it didn't give us enough time to be able to trial peak or anything like that. So this time around, now that I'm sitting at like a relatively lower body fat, I'd maybe assume 12% or something like that. I want to get ready earlier. I do also have a holiday booked at the most inconvenient time, 10 to 8 weeks out.
Where you going?
But we're going to go to Thailand. But I'm still going to live. I'm still going to do everything over there, the same stuff. Going to get a meal
There's some
prep.
great gyms over there.
Well, that's what I was thinking. So we only did it because like we can't afford to go to Europe. It's expensive. Um, so at least if we can go there, it'll be good for the mental, give me a little bit of a refresh. I'll be able to do the online work there, but I'll still be able to train and live the lifestyle just in a different environment.
Yeah,
You know how it is for the head.
yeah,
But I'm thinking I was going to talk with Mitch, and so we're going to talk soon. I'll talk to him this week about trying to get even ready about 10 to 8 weeks out.
hmm
So line it up with that. That way, if I do go over there, it'll account for if I do miss a few days or whatever happens. I don't know. What if I get food poisoning? Worst
yeah.
case scenario. Hopefully not. Knock on wood. But at least that way we'll have that data. We'll be able to mock prep leading into it, and that way we'll be able to figure it out. So I think it just comes down to um, every time after those shows, it's been the day after. So typically, you have your shitty food, and then you wake up the next day looking absolutely fucking jacked. And so I think it's just I need more food, more carbs, salts, and fats.
Yeah, so that at least you now kind of have that game plan. I think with a lot of people I've also talked to, that also kind of seems like the best route, kind of like making sure you're prepared way earlier so you can do a few trial carb ups and that to see how you
Yeah,
look and then like, give yourself that time.
yeah, that's what I think so too, man. But yeah, just haven't had the opportunity because of in the past I'm a lot more locked in now. I guess you would call it. Where I live the lifestyle all the time. Whereas before, it was more like I had a lot more that I was dealing with mentally. I'd just come out of my past relationship before I went into my last prep and got into a new relationship at the start of prep. So it was a horrible environment.
Transition, yeah,
But yeah, luckily my current girlfriend who was with me, she was a blessing. She was great
yeah.
and helped me through it. So it was the least stressful time I've ever had. But I'm just keen. I'm really keen to see, just to be ready early and then just trial peak, do it all properly, bring the best that I can bring.
No, it sounds exciting. I think it really sounds like you're actually probably, regardless of the holiday, like in the most prime position. Because I think that's something that sometimes people overlook, as much as you want to get on stage, you love bodybuilding, but sometimes, and I think, at some point it feels like an excuse to me because I'm still yet to jump on stage, but it's
Yeah,
that thing of I'm same thing for me. Like I'm in a situation a bit better now where it's like, yeah, you've got a good partner, good environment. I think all those little things really help because it's
yeah,
just excess stress that then,
it
sometimes
is.
that mental excess stress, your his body's going to get affected. And no matter what you do, it's not going to help.
If I told you what I went through on my first prep, you'd fucking throw up, dude. It's like I won't go into it, but it was a mix of financial and, like I said, relationship stress, and then doing it myself and not having the backing that I wanted. It was just fuck. I should have just pulled out, but I decided to stick through it so I could develop the mental thickness.
But yeah, I commend you for that. I think, that's built who you are today. I think
Yeah,
also sometimes like that can make it's probably made like what do you reckon like that comparing that prep to even the prep that you did with Sam, like how much easier was it? And then think about how much easier this prep's going to be in comparison. Like it's
yeah,
I think you did yourself a favor not pulling out because it
yeah.
really built up that mental capacity of what you can go through, what you can push and know. Yeah, I am able to commit to these goals.
100%, man. That's where my head was at, and so that's why I did it. The last prep, like I said, current girlfriend Gabby, she's a blessing. So it was still smooth, but I was, if I'm going to be completely transparent, I was dealing with binge eating issues, which
Mm.
I've never had in the past. I don't think anyone really knows this, so now everyone does. But it's look, I was a skinny kid growing up, man. I've
Yeah.
never had any problems with that, But it was just one of those things that I just could not shake, and it happened maybe about 4 or 5 times throughout the last 10 weeks. And yeah, it was fucked. So this time around, obviously, I can recognize that, and I'm a lot more locked in. There's a lot more to like metaphorically lose,
Mhm.
but it's going to be a lot easier. Like I've been doing, you live the lifestyle through the off season. The prep is just a breeze.
Yes,
I'm
definitely.
just I'm just keen for it.
what's the word?
Commend.
Acclimating yourself to the
Oh
right
yeah.
environment. If
Yes.
you don't mind, I'd love to like kind of go a bit more into that. What you experienced the binge eating, as you said, it was not something that you've kind of
Experience.
experienced yourself. What was that something like? Were you upfront with Sam about that? Was that something that you're upfront with your coach, or was that something that you kind of like you were trying to deal with? Like, were you conscious at the moment? Because like from experiences of people that I know that have done it, sometimes like they're not even self-aware that they're binging.
So I was so conscious. um, all right, I guess I'll touch on the point of did Sam know? I don't think I ever really told him up front and was completely transparent about it with him because I was ashamed.
Yeah.
Now, speaking as a coach, tell your coach, please, please tell your fucking coach. But Sam knew that things weren't coming off at the rate that they should have been. I look back at photos now and videos, and I'm like, I was quite good about 6 weeks out. I could have been there. I could have been ready at 4 weeks out. I think we got ready about 1 to 2 weeks out, pretty much. So it was cutting it short. And no, I was not upfront with him. Do I regret that? Yes. Now, was I aware that I was doing it? It was one. It's actually the craziest thing, man, because it's not something I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah.
Like I would just go on Uber Eats and I would be like, all right, just get a pizza, just one pizza. And then put the order in and it's like, um, you can get donuts from this place for like free for free
Yeah.
delivery if you want. It's on the way. I'm like, fuck it, I'll get like three of them. And I was like, no, I'll get six, and I don't know why. I
Hmm.
couldn't tell you why. And so that would come, and then I'd sit in my room, not I pretended I was asleep, and I smashed the pizza, and I felt sick, and I still had those six donuts, and I wasn't even hungry, but because they were there, I
Yeah.
just smashed them too, and I felt absolutely fucking horrific. Pumps in the gym the next day were
Amazing.
undeniable, but yeah, dude, it was like the weirdest thing. And my girlfriend tells me off, till this day. She's like, "You shouldn't have done that." I'm like,
Yeah.
"I know," but it's all a learning experience. Just
That's
tell your
crazy.
coach though.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I didn't, it's so funny that you said that. And like that's kind of what was getting you because I didn't even know Uber Eats did that until like the other day. I was like getting something, my cheat meal, and then all of a sudden I'm like, it's like, yeah, you brought this. Yeah, if you
Yeah,
grab this here, it's like $1, $2. And
yeah,
I'm like, wait a minute, what? I was like, that's crazy. And it's
yeah.
like I can see how like
It's the
how much that
psychology.
must get people. Obviously, it's Uber Eats' way of like making more money, but especially people that obviously struggle with eating or
Oh yeah,
staying on track. How easily you kind of fall into that loop because of that psychology of what that normally cost me probably what I just paid for this one
saving
meal, so I'm
money.
getting it for like $1. Why not? Or like basically
Yeah,
free.
yeah, yeah. It's the craziest thing, man. I've never experienced anything like that. It was almost like I was. It was my brain was just working without me thinking. And every time afterwards, I would feel so fucking midway and through. I'd feel so fucking guilty. I'm
Yeah.
like, what am I doing? And I'll just pump it, just finish it. But
So was that something that after the prep, like you didn't, it kind of just disappeared? Like it was
yeah,
just something that you're experiencing during the prep?
first time I've ever experienced it in my life. Yeah, it
That's
was the
crazy.
weirdest thing, and I'd love to get to the root cause of it, like find the psychology out behind it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this time around, it's just not going to happen for
No.
sure. Like,
You're definitely held accountable. You know what to do. Speak to Mitch, and at least
yeah,
your
man,
girlfriend can keep you accountable on that too.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think a lot of it came down to if I'm trying to think introspectively, was it the prep was so long? It was like 26 weeks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was just
So by
getting
the
the hunger.
by the time 8 weeks came, I was like so over it. Which is partly my fault because I'm the one who put on all that excess fat during that off season. So this time around, keeping the fat lower, it's going to be a lot easier to get to that point. So yeah, I won't think it'll be an issue.
It's just interesting because, like I said, for
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
haven't competed, so it's interesting. Do you, especially like liking psychology, like you said, and the mindset and stuff? At what point like you said, knowing, okay, well, this prep's going to be 26 weeks long. I've got a bit too much body fat on. There was no point, was it kind of like maybe it's worth, you know, stepping away from the prep, like going, okay, I'm gonna drop down, get to a decent body fat, maybe maintain that, maybe kind of stay at this body fat, hold it, and then do like the next season. That was
Yeah.
nothing, anything you like you thought about or discussed with Sam? Was it just more I want to get on stage?
It was, I had already committed, and so there was no way I was going to pull out at that point because I was, if I commit to something, like I'm going to fully do it.
Yeah.
And that was, the first prep was a testament to that. So this one around, I mean, I still, like I said, achieved the conditioning that I think was good.
Mhm.
We just didn't peak right. And there were just a few fuck ups on my end, like through the
Yeah.
binge eating, through that prep. So it made it a little bit like more difficult than it had to have been. Um, but there was no doubt in my mind that I was not going to compete. I knew I was going to make it on stage. I was just, instead of landing the plane at like 4 to 6 weeks out, we just landed a little bit closer to the show.
I think that's important, holding to your word. I think being a person, especially like being a coach yourself, like you want to stay true to your values, stay true to your word, hold yourself accountable. So like
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. I understand that you kind of went, you know what, even with these fuck ups, even it's going to be a long prep. I've made the decision. I'm going to lock in, so I'm just going to get it done, so I can stay
yeah,
true to my word.
yeah. That's kind of where I was at. Yeah, to be honest.
Kind of jumping back to being a coach, as like you said, that's I guess what your main focus really is about. I'd love to know, especially like you said, going through for you, it's not just about helping someone transform themselves physically, but also mentally. What does it really mean to you to be a successful coach?
Good question. So yeah, I think everyone's definition of it will be a little bit different. To me, it comes down to providing the best service possible to my clients. I hear way too many horror stories with people in this industry who have a decent following, and you would know that if I name drop them, but I'm not going to do that, of course. So that's number one. Provided very good service to my clients. Number two is helping them through their struggles mentally. I like to tell them from the get go, like, whatever you need, message me, right? If I don't respond because I'm busy, feel free, double message me. All
Mhm.
right. Bring it to the top. I don't care. I'm always going to be there as quick as I can to respond. I still have some face to face clients now, too, that I do just because I enjoy it. So it takes away sometimes me from the phone.
Yeah.
So I would say that those two things. And the third thing is also being honest. So now these days, I do know a lot. Yes, I'm not going to say I know everything because I think that's impossible to know everything. But if in the past, for example, I didn't know something, I would say I'm not too sure, but I'll find out for you. Being transparent with them and working more as a partnership as opposed to just telling them this is the right way to do it, this is the only way to do it, and if you do it any other way, it's wrong. I think there's a million ways to skin a cat, or 100 ways to skin a cat, whatever the saying is. And so making sure that they get to wherever they get to, in whichever fashion we do it, that's going to work best for them is the most important thing. But as long as the mental stays in check, so the mental health side of things is a big thing. So I even have modules for that I have for my clients and for clients that come on board to help them through sticking points in their life and help them overcome them. And yeah, so that's, I think, that for me. Does that answer
Yeah,
that
no,
question?
that's a great answer. I love
Yeah,
that. It's
cool.
funny, like why you're kind of saying that. It kind of makes me think about. It's funny. I think it's hard. I'm like half and half with it, but I
Yeah,
think like the word is like life coaching kind of gets like a hard knock, I think. But it's like I think what you're doing is how I kind of view, some people that want to call themselves life coaches. I think that's the thing. I think even like what we said before, like coaching is so much more than just I'm gonna get you jacked, I'm gonna make you
yeah,
lose weight or whatever it may be. Like you're taking part in someone's life in such a big way, and you kind of because yeah, you're affecting their day to day,
yeah,
and
man.
so it is so much more than just their food and what they how they train. It's being able to support them mentally,
Yeah,
and I think that it's just like yeah, making me think that it's funny, like what is your opinion on, I guess, like people that claim to be, life coaches? Like, would you, obviously, yes, you're, because like you said, 75% of your clients are Gen Pop, and like
Yeah.
that mindset is a massive part of it. Would
Yes.
you marinate the two terms of being a life coach and like a fitness coach? Like, how do you, I guess,
Hmm.
describe yourself within this industry in that way?
I think so. Every coach that I've ever had, which is three, um, all three coaches had something about them which I was able to learn from, some sort of wisdom. And it ended up generally being, family
Mhm.
relationships wise as well. They were able to develop relationships with their clients too, so they never treated them like a number. Um, and they just had their head screwed on when it came to priorities. And so I kind of always I learned from them all. And I took things from my first coach was Graydon. I took things from Sam. I've taken things from Mitch, and all of them are so big on the mental aspect of things too. What was the question again? Sorry, sometimes I veer off.
Oh, no, no, no. It was just like, would you consider yourself
Mm,
like more of like, I guess, a life coach? Like, because like for example, Sam to
yes,
me, like I've seen how he's kind of now gone down that route of like he's like self mastery, which I think
yes,
it's a really cool way to, that's a better way to me to represent like what is considered life coaching and
yep,
kind of going beyond like fitness coaching. Because I know like for example, even Morgan, Callum's girlfriend. She's doing like that mindset, like with her podcast, but then it's also I know she's doing a same thing, like fitness, nutrition, training with it, but it's again like that self mastery.
yep,
And so it's
yep,
just like how do you feel you connect within that?
yep. So okay, yeah, going back to that. So I take through from all three of them. I have. I've always looked up to that kind of stuff, and I've always wanted to be there for my clients the same way. So similar to how you mentioned, I always wanted someone to be there for me that I never had. I want to be that kind of person. I see myself as someone, or not. I see myself. I think it's just as important to develop your mindset as it is your physical self. They go hand in hand. Now, the physical aspect of whether it's trying to build muscle, trying to lose fat, whatever your journey is tough, yes. But I think the mental hurdle and the mental obstacles within that journey is a lot tougher to overcome. So if we can also manage to learn some tools in order to, overcome those, then the whole journey of itself in trying to better yourself physically ends up becoming a lot easier. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, sweet. So yeah, I do see myself as a bit more of a life coach as well. But you are right in terms of the fact that some people give life coaches a bad name, but it's the same thing as some like normal coaches, bodybuilding coaches, give other coaches the bad name
Yeah.
too. So it's really tough, man, because you'll have clients and people who are you know, on the fence of jumping on board, but they've had such bad experiences in the past that they expect you to be the exact same as everyone else.
Yeah.
And I try and make it as clear as possible from my content that I am not like just out to get your money. I don't care about your money. Yes, it pays my bills. Yes, it's my business, of course, but I want results, and that's what makes that's what gives me for joy and fulfillment. So that's what I look for.
It's funny. I'm just like looking more at your logo, and it's
Mm,
making me think. I wonder because you recently rebranded to G Max. Is that right? Like the coaching thing, or that's always been a thing?
yes.
Is the without? I'm not sure. I guess what I'm
Hmm.
trying to say is thinking about like what we're talking about now, it kind of makes me think about like life maxing. Like it's kind of like you're
Yeah.
wanting, yeah, like helping people go, let's help you reach your life's potential, max your life out. I think it's just really a really cool play on words. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love as someone who like immensely struggles with naming things and like
Yeah,
coming up
cool.
with, I love like when something just feels like it hits the spot perfectly. And I feel like, yeah, your business name of like, yeah, George and then Max, like, and then the way you kind of bring it all together, it's just very pleasing to me.
Thank you. Do you know what's funny is that I can tell you how I got that name if you want.
Yeah.
So my name is George, of course. So the G, yes. The Max is it's a play on two things. So my dad's nickname was Mucky because it was shortened from Other Mucky, which
Mhm.
is a Greek thing. His name's Adam. Anyway, so his nickname was Mucky. And my friends at the time, they started calling me Mucky Jr. And then they shortened it to Max. And so my nickname for a bit was Max.
Oh, okay.
I thought that tied in really nice with the whole coaching aspect of
Yeah.
things too. So I called it G Max. It was initially performance, G Max Performance, because I wanted to go about not just, body, but also mind.
Yeah.
I ended up changing it to coaching. So that's how it all started. No one's ever actually asked that question or taken any notice of it, but I appreciate that. So now everyone knows.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's cool. Like I said, there's something, especially like I said, for myself, that's like terrible with names. Like that's like it's so
Yeah,
satisfying to me. So no, I like
I
that. It's cool.
appreciate it.
Especially when, like you said, even it's even cooler when it like comes from somewhere like I guess special to you, where it's like that connection for like
Yeah,
it's coming from your dad and then becoming into your nickname and then being able to blend the two together. That's really cool.
yeah. Thank you. That's sick.
What I guess before to kind of like head into before we wrap up,
Yeah,
what would be the worst advice, you've been given? Like what is it does it can be life related, it can be coaching related, it can be just being an athlete. What would you say, or if you want to list all three, like what would you say has been the worst advice you've been given just for any listener who can kind of go, oh, all right, well, if I hear that, I know to kind of stay away from that.
okay. When it comes to mental and doing things for yourself, kind of like your own journey, don't let anyone tell you you can't do something. I'd like to say that. I would also say don't let anyone carve out your path for you either. We have a lot of people. I was talking about it with a client yesterday. There's a lot of people who go down the route that their parents want them to go down.
Mm.
I always thought of myself as kind of like a black sheep because a lot of my family and stuff, as being Europeans, Greeks, there's the expectation, we go to university, we get a good career, we make good money, we get married, have a family, have kids, and buy a house, and that's kind of the life. Whereas I've done nothing like that as of yet. I've started my own business. I've gone against the grain. My parents, freaking out. No, coaching's just a side job. You can't do it as a full time gig. I'm like, just trust me on this. Just this is what makes me happy. Just trust me. So if I can do it, I think a lot of the stuff that I put on my Instagram as well is a testament that if I can do it, you can do it too. So I want to preface that, and you can apply that to any aspect of life, really. When it comes to bodybuilding, I think the worst advice with bodybuilding, huh? What's some that come to mind that people mention? Is there any specific? It might get my brain running.
I don't know. I think it's really personal. Like I think I know what you mean. Like that it's like what you said. I think when I think about it, I think something that like obviously stands out to me the easiest would be you know that misbelief of, yeah, there's only one right way to go about it, especially with how things have evolved in this, like, I guess,
Yeah,
era of, science-based lifting and old school bro. And I think what you said before, that it's a saying for a reason. There's a million
yeah,
ways, 100 ways, 1,000 ways to skin a cat. And I think focusing on someone going, hey, look, this is the only way to do it. I think no matter what, enjoyment should come first. Like you said, like
yes,
you should always you can do what you want to do. No one can tell you that you can't do something. And it's
yes,
like, then that include, and then, if you're doing something that you want to do, then that leads to enjoyment. And then, so then if something is not enjoyable to you, just because someone says, yo, this is going to be the X amount of reason why you can make this amount of muscle because science states this. If you enjoy bro lifting, if you enjoy whatever,
Yeah,
that's creates longevity. And
I
I
would
think
agree.
that's something that I guess, in my opinion, is like quote unquote bad advice. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it's a gray area. I
Gray
wouldn't
area. There's always like the right or the best way.
yeah,
There's the best way, and then there's other ways that you can do that you can do to get to that same point. It may just take a little bit longer. Um, I've tried every way. I'm someone who likes to experiment. So I've tried the completely science-based way in the past. I've tried the, low intensity, high intensity, lower volume stuff. I think finding a middle ground that's going to work best for you, for
mm,
your body. I think some people need more volume, especially depending on what body parts they lack. Some people need less volume. So, for example, my arms grow, and I don't really need to give that much thought. I do some stuff, and they fucking grow. Whereas chest, for example, is one of my lagging body parts. So I have to split up chest. I have to have 2 days so the frequency is increased. Make sure there's enough volume in there so that and make sure that I'm contracting the muscle enough to actually grow, not just moving the weight around and expecting it to grow. There's intent behind movement. So, God, I can go on about a million things, dude. I think, but let's just sit with the one that you mentioned because that's kind of where my head was going, which
yeah,
is this
yeah,
100 ways to skin a cat. Find the way that's going to work for you, best for you, and you will eventually get there because the enjoyment leads to consistency, which leads to adherence, and which would lead to the end goal.
definitely. It's interesting. I think, like you said, it's a conversation that you can have for ages,
Mm,
but I always just find it entertaining and enjoyable to hear everyone's opinion on it. So just to kind of like touch really briefly, I
mhm.
guess, yeah, what have you, as you said, you enjoy experimenting and you've kind of
Yes.
done it all. And like you said, you've worked out like your arms don't need lots of volume, but your chest needs a little bit more. What I guess is your current training philosophy? Like, yeah, what do you think? Obviously, like you said, what works best for you. That's what I guess in without overcomplicating it. I'd love to hear like, yeah, how you approaching your training. So maybe if there's someone who has a lagging chest or goes, yeah, my arms grow from just
Mhm.
doing nothing. What has like been working for you the most at the moment?
I have a lot of my clients, especially the ones who compete. I have them on a push, pull, legs, secondary push and arms, and a posterior day. Um, I find that I've stuck to that for the last pretty much year and a half, and I'll make small tweaks to it.
Hmm.
Right. So if I get sick of an exercise or I need to start building my upper back as opposed to my lower lats, I'll make an amendment there with an exercise, for example. So I've had that framework for quite a while now, and I really want to emphasize that I think it's so important, and we hear it all the time. But I really, in the past, I'm a stubborn person. I like to learn the hard way, hence why I liked experimenting. But if you're anything like me, just trust me on this. Make sure you're using the muscle to move the weight, not just moving the weight and hoping the muscle will grow. Really have intent behind every movement you're doing, even when it comes to deadlifts and stuff. They can be a little bit sloppier, RDLs. They can be a little bit sloppier for sure. That way, you can obviously get that strength up and that will add density to the back, but you still need to be somewhat in control of it. You can't just throw it up and, hope for the best. Intent has been a really big thing for me this year. And I think that I was talking about it with my coach when he was scraping me this morning. It's an accumulation of a lot of things, but I really do believe that the intent behind my movements and every set and every rep that I've performed um, has really made a big difference to my lagging parts this year. So I really want to emphasize that. And even if that means that you have to drop the weight a little bit and hold on that weight for weeks,
Mm.
in some cases, honestly, I've been on certain weights on exercises for months, and then I'll just shift around the order of them,
Oh
you
yeah.
know? Just simple things like that, making an amendment to the program. Now, this one I can get stronger at, and lift a little bit heavier, but still targeting the muscle that I want to properly. Um, Yeah, I think that stuff's that's really important. It's still overlooked. And you see it these days with all the fucking, what do you call it? The
The Kegel
seatbelt
thing.
straps, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's like something
Dude,
where you do that shit.
dude,
Like I've seen that. That's going viral at the moment. So stupid. It's like taking it
dude.
to the. It's like taking it too far.
And I'd say it because I've been there and I've done that. And I've
Yeah.
done the really science-based stuff in the past. Didn't work. I timed my rest periods. Didn't work. It's unnecessary. Just go based off of feel. And feel comes with experience, yes, with learning. So you need to learn your body too. Everyone's a little bit different. There's a lot of nuances in this game.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I think nuance is almost like it's like brain rotting people, like in like
Yeah,
some way. But
yeah,
I like what you said. I think that's like really spot on. I feel like that's a similar like place where I'm also at too. It's like that. What was the word you used? That intent, the intent of like your movements, because like I've noticed like there was like especially like same here. My chest is really lagging and I'll make sure, especially like incline, I struggle to connect doing incline
yes.
pressing. So
Yep,
it's like I will. There's like four different incline machines at my gym.
yep,
So I've like spent one week after another trying whichever machine within my program, and then I've gone, okay, this is the one that I've connected with the most.
yes.
And then it's like now I'm gonna do that for like 3 4 weeks, and it's like, yep, this is still going. But
Yep.
it's funny, like there's one where it's like I've done it for 1 week of the 4 weeks. It's like this one's connect. I've done it the next week. It's like I think people tend
A
to
little bit
kind
off.
of go, oh, I'm not feeling it this week. I'm gonna go back to a different one, and then
Yeah,
then they fuck up a bit. It's like, and I know then like I've done it for the third and fourth week, and then it's like, yeah, find that groove, and it's like it's made me a bit of a snob when it comes to equipment. And so like
yeah,
I love going to different gyms, but
yeah,
it's been really hard because it's like I
yeah.
haven't been able to, depending on the body part, like yeah, then I go to a gym, it's like fuck yeah, this is so cool. And
Uh,
then also I'm on a machine and it's like this is the only machine for it. And it's like fuck, I can't do
yeah,
shit.
yeah, dude. It's so funny you mentioned that because everything that I've had in my program has pretty much been a staple for a very long
Yeah.
time now. And people still have the idea that you need to change things up, but I don't if I'm still making progress on it and I feel it where I'm supposed to feel it, you know?
Hmm.
But that's so misunderstood a lot of the time these days.
It's funny that you just said that too. Like I can't get over how much people, it's like still it's crazy like how I don't want to call people like dumb but like
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
it's
feel
the
you.
fact that like I saw like some ad and it was like someone like doing their services at like a meta ad, and he's like, "Oh, are you sick of doing the same exercises? Are you sick of your coach telling you to do the same workout for 6 weeks straight?"
I
And it's
swear
like,
I've seen this
no,
one.
you need to switch it up every 4 weeks, or
Dude,
every session. It's like it's like you're thinking you're trying to re-bring something back that has been disproven, but then
yeah,
you're trying to do it to stand out because everybody's saying this, and it's like you're also then what's wrong with the industry.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Now we're
crazy.
going in circles again. And
Yeah,
this is why people get confused. And this is why I was confused for so long
yeah,
coming up and trying to do it all by myself, dude. Dude.
crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy. Fuck,
Well,
what do you do?
yeah. One final question to kind of wrap everything up is I'd love to know. Everything sounds like it's going actually really well for you. You're about to go, looking to do season A, you're in a good spot, business is going well, you're looking amazing, looking to hopefully be getting into the best prep yet. So, kind of, I'd love to know what is a sum up of, like, I guess your current life mantra? Like, how are you kind of, whether it's a quote, whether, it's something, how are you taking on every day?
I've got a good quote by Aristotle, but I've forgotten it under this pressure. But
He's got quite a good quote, got quite a good few quotes.
he does. You know what? I've been reading without going too far off topic. This book,
Oh, yeah, that's a good book.
great book. My current mantra is to. It has been for a while. Is to just keep going.
Hmm.
And so I've been speaking about um, these kinds of sayings with clients lately because I've been using them a lot. like the cliches. I said, I was like, cliches are there for a reason. But honestly, just keep going. Whatever it is, if it's mental, if it's physical, whatever your journey is, just keep going, man. Because I wouldn't be here today if I didn't keep going. And the number of times I kept doubting myself, and I still do to this day, but every time I doubt myself, I just keep going.
Mhm.
Um, you will eventually get there if you want it enough, and if it means enough to you, whatever it may be. So don't, yeah, just keep going.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think that actually is probably the best mantra. I think
Yeah,
I like obviously there's different. It's funny you said about like cliches because I was talking to someone yesterday actually, and we were talking about how because she said same thing. She said like a cliche line thing,
yeah,
and was saying how like they're cliche for a reason, like
yeah.
because they're actually so applicable, and
They
it's
are.
so because of how applicable it is that it almost just seems not real. And then that's
Yeah,
why they seem like cliches, but they're fundamental. Like, keep going. That's right. If you continue to go no matter what, it's like I think about it like the world. It's like the world doesn't stop, it keeps spinning. So it's like if you don't keep going, so if you keep going, you will reach wherever you want to go because time will continue and momentum builds and
yeah,
things stack. Where it's like if you stop, the world's gonna keep going,
yeah,
but you're just then holding yourself back to not be moving with it. So
yeah,
I love that mantra, and I think
yeah,
that's really applying well to your life, and you're kind of embodying and showing that that is the way to kind of be.
yeah, man. I just put on my story yesterday about anxiety and how, like, I had social anxiety and it was a lot worse in the past. And I still have forms of anxiety, general anxiety, whatever you want to call it. A lot of it relates to um, business and financials because I've never had anything to fall back on.
Yeah.
So I'm always just trying to go forward and forward. But even with that, like, just keep going. It just, every time you keep pushing through it, over the years, it will get easier.
Mm.
And you will face obstacles in your life, but you need to embrace failure. You need to embrace the obstacles because they will teach you the lessons you need to learn in order to overcome them next time. And once again, so cliche, but that's been really fundamental to my life thus far, and it will continue to be. So
I love it.
hopefully, it helps someone.
No, definitely. I think it will. I love that a lot. Well,
Thanks,
thank
man.
you so much for jumping on and joining me. I really, really appreciate it. I'm excited for everyone to listen. I'm sure there'll be quite a few things that people can take away from what you've said. So
Thank
thank
you,
you again
dude.
for your time.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it. This is sick.